Before the Russian Grand Prix, Daniel Kvyat underwent plastic surgery and hoped to rejuvenate his season. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan, and when Kimi Raikkonen saw it on the TV screen, he gave it the thumbs up. Most likely because Kimi Raikkonen probably doesn't even know who Daniel Kvyat is. So here we are then, guys, for the Russian Grand Prix, and I actually went straight to qualifying for this one because I looked at the practice footage that I got, and honestly, I don't think there's anything that you guys would like to see from that. It was pretty boring, I'm not going to lie, but qualifying was pretty intense because now we have upped the difficulty to legendary. So we're on the second hardest difficulty in F1 2016 now here on the PS4, and obviously for me, I did not expect to be on this difficulty when I started this career mode a couple of days ago. And well, obviously I'm getting used to the game a little bit now. I'm understanding how the car, the Renault car specifically, is working, and I'm not gonna lie, it's actually sort of performing a lot better than I expected. I can understand the car a lot better, and I know where to push and where not to push. So we're going into qualifying here on slightly the back foot. We didn't get too many laps in qualifying in. However, I did get some development points for doing one of the tutorial things, so I guess I've got that for the next race, which is good. So nonetheless, we'll get into qualifying here. This is my fastest lap here. I had done a couple of laps in qualifying already. You can see I've done 3 flying laps already in qualifying. This will be my 4th lap we're going to be going on to any second now. But currently, we are in last place, 22nd position here in qualifying. I did find it really tough for some reason to get used to the track and how it was, sort of the cars reacting to it. I think in the past, obviously, I've driven much better cars around this track. But in this game, obviously, picking one of the worst cars on the grid and trying to get used to it where you need the high sort of, you need the downforce for the high speed corners. I was really struggling, so yeah, getting used to it was tough. But you can see here, top right, you need to be looking at the delta there. So the delta is how much quicker I am than my fastest lap time, which you can see above it there. So 4th lap in qualifying here. This will be our last lap of the session as well. Through turn 1 and 2, you can see we run slightly wide over turn 2, if you even call that a corner. We run a little bit wide, and that lost us a bit of time on our fastest lap time so far. So this is the corner there. The fast, really long left-hander goes on for a really long time, but we managed to get through there unscathed. And then through that fast right-hander there, we managed to actually gain 0.2 of a second over our fastest delta time so far, which is nice. Through sort of the medium speed right-hander here, that's gained us a little bit of time on our delta as well. Actually, it's gained us a lot of time on our delta here. Over half a second up now, but we've run a little bit wide there. Over the curbs on the outside, that's lost us a bit of time there, which is really frustrating. Obviously, we were having a really good lap until that point, but running over the curb has lost us a bit of time. And that's something you guys will realise in this game, is that running over the curbs is not a good thing. If you can avoid going over the curbs, you can actually gain a huge amount of time on your qualifying lap here. But here we are, 0.6 of a second up here with 1 sector to go pretty much. DRS is wide open on the brakes here with 1.2 seconds basically by Lewis Hamilton in the lead of this race here. Now, the last sector here, this is one I've liked in the past, I've gone well in the past, but can we hook it up today here in qualifying when it really matters to obviously get some sort of decent position going into the race, which obviously we can't be starting 22nd place surely here in Russia. That would be an absolute disaster after the last couple of races. It would take us back to what in like Melbourne we were really struggling. But last couple of corners here, you can see our delta is really fast. Verstappen's just gone on pole position. Last corner time, where's it going to be? Whoa, across the line. I didn't see quite what position there was. 14th position we grabbed there, right at the line there, guys. Absolutely awesome stuff there. I did not expect that whatsoever. And where has that put us? Has it put us ahead of? It's put us ahead of Magnussen, and by 1,000th of a second there, we beat Kevin Magnussen in qualifying. Literally, you can't separate anyone by. Well, I suppose you can be on the exact same time, but that is as close as I could ever have expected in qualifying. That's amazing stuff here, guys. That lap in qualifying was quite unexpected. I'm not going to lie, I was behind Magnussen all the time throughout the practice sessions. I was pretty much always last, but now that one really perfect lap in qualifying for me there has put me with a chance, just small chance of points here in Russia, which would be really nice. I mean, obviously battling with Kevin Magnussen here. He had a decent qualifying there, to be fair. 14th and 15th is pretty good for Renault, and I'd expect more to be like 17th or 18th. So 14th and 15th, I know it doesn't sound a lot, but 3 or 4 positions for Renault is a huge amount considering how bad the car is this season. So let's keep our fingers crossed here for a really good race here in Russia. Obviously, I'm not expecting to get points here, but if we could maybe grab a good start, maybe it could be a possibility. So here we are lining up in our grid position for the Russian Grand Prix. It will take a little bit of time here as the grid sets. Here you can see the cars behind us will be getting into position here. So we're waiting now for the sort of loading screen, I guess that was, and now we're ready for the start line here. We're slightly out of position in our grid box, to be fair. building the revs up, and away we go here in Russia. Great start by Hulkenberg, great start by our teammate Magnussen, terrible start from Grosjean on our right hand side. As we head down to turn 1, there's 3 wide in front of us. Bottas, Ricciardo and Hulkenberg going 3 wide down into turn 1. Sergio Perez is just ahead of them as well, so where are we going to go into turn 1? Are we going to go crazy on the brakes? No, we're sort of being quite calm through here. We don't want to do anything too silly, don't want to get any damage here on the first lap of this race here, but we've actually gained 1 position here. I can't see who's actually... It must have been Grosjean, wasn't it, that's lost a lot of time through there, through the first couple of corners. But for us, up into 13th place now, just behind Valtteri Bottas. Bottas had a bad qualifying, so did Ricciardo there. You can see Ricciardo's not even in the points positions right now. That's terrible for him. He should be up there battling for the victory, especially with Max Verstappen starting on pole position. But Bottas was slow through there. He gave me a gap, and I went for it down the inside, and now up into 12th place, just behind Daniel Ricciardo, who's really struggling to get past the 2 Force Indias, who are slightly holding him up, obviously, through the corners, obviously, where the Red Bull is very, very fast. Even though, obviously, the Red Bull is a lot quicker through the corners, the Force India is not that bad. So, you know, Ricciardo hasn't got that much of an advantage, I suppose you could say. But we've had a really good run out of here in the slipstream of Daniel Ricciardo, around the outside of him. Looks like we're going to swamp Nico Hulkenberg here, going either side of him down the back straightaway here. We've put ourselves into the points now, and that's ahead of Ricciardo and Hulkenberg in one move there. And Kvyat's made a mistake ahead there. He's lost the position there. Kvyat's had a really good qualifying. I know it's his home race, but still, that's a very good performance from him there. And now we're going to try and maintain the gap to the cars in front here, get a rhythm going, and hopefully get some decent lap times in there. And hopefully we can keep this position for at least a couple of laps. I mean, I'm sure with Ricciardo right behind us, that'll be lost very shortly. But you know, never say never. Let's be honest, guys. We've had a good result in the past here in this career mode. I know we've upped the difficulty, which is obviously going to make it a lot tougher. But let's see what we can do here. So if we skip ahead to lap number 3 here, we're basically the same distance behind Sergio Perez here. But DRS will be activated this time through, and we are switching into the rich fuel mixture. The DRS is wide open here, but we've got to be wary. Daniel Ricciardo in that mighty fast Red Bull is right behind us here. Obviously, he's not going to be any quicker in a straight line because we've got the same engine, but through the corners he's going to be so much quicker. We slightly misjudged the corner there, not very good line, but we've managed to sort of maintain the gap to Perez in front. Obviously, we're trying to try and keep as close to him as possible because you know, every lap we're close to him, we can get the DRS, and it sort of helps us defend from Ricciardo in a way. So even though we're not right up behind Sergio Perez here, we can still gain from the DRS. But look at this, somebody's already in the pits there. Who's that? I think that's Danny Kvyat there. He's gone for a very early pit stop here in Russia. On lap 3 of 13, Daniel Kvyat's coming to the pits. That's a very strange strategy there. He must be going for a 2-stop strategy here in Russia. So down the back straight here, sorry, this is the front straight, isn't it? Down the front straight, DRS wide open once again. We just got it from Sergio Perez. Daniel Ricciardo surely is going to be right up behind us by the end of this straight. No, he still isn't close enough to get the overtake done. Through turn 1, we've gained a lot of time there on Massa and Perez. Looks like Massa's actually holding up Sergio Perez here through these first couple of corners. I'm not going to lie, the Force India in real life is definitely better than the Williams right now, but in the game the Williams still rated as a better car. But in terms of our development as well, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do by the end of this race. Hopefully we'll have enough development points to get to the next race with another upgrade. That would be really nice to see. But lap number 4 of 13 here, there's a caution ahead. What's happened here? Daniel Ricciardo's not going to be allowed to overtake. The virtual safety car is out here, so it's the first time I've done this. So you've got to not exceed the delta pace, which you can see in the top right. So currently we're green, which means we're well, we were green, which means we're going too slowly, and then you've got to be basically like 0.000 is perfect, obviously, but you're never going to be able to do that perfectly. So in real life it's probably a little bit easier, but you can see here going to the pits we slightly went a bit over it and we went into the red. So you can see as we switch into the replay camera here, we went very slowly into the pits here. I'm not too sure what happened here. You can see very weird, Felipe Massa, he went invisible and we sort of just drove through him in the pit lane. So I'm not sure what's happened there to Felipe Massa, but you can see the cars in front pitting as well. There's Carlos Sainz. For anyone wondering, he's actually my new rival in the game. So Carlos Sainz is somebody you've got to be watching out for in this little career mode now. Oh, look at this. We're being really held up in the pits there. We were held up for 4 cars, including the Haas, which obviously, I'm assuming, yeah, Haas is pulling in at the end of the pit lane there, but we've lost a whole bunch of time. And look at that, guys. We're going to come out of the pits in the second to last place. The only person behind us is Roman Grosjean, who you just saw there coming into the pits behind us. That was terrible. I thought that coming under virtual safety car would help us out. Obviously, give us a little bit of extra time. Maybe it still will. Obviously, we've got to wait for everyone to really do all of their pit stops to see how it's all going to play out. But right now, that is not how I wanted this sort of little strategy to work out. And you can see, I think everyone might have pitted at this point here, and we're down to 12th place behind Nico Hulkenberg. But Lewis Hamilton is behind us, so I'm not sure what's happened to Lewis Hamilton. Why is he down in 13th position? I have no idea. Hamilton's really had Hamilton-esque first 4 races in this game. I mean, he had one decent race. I think that was the last race, wasn't it, where he got a podium. But apart from that, he's had a terrible start to the season, just like he did in real life. I wonder if he's going to start doing really well in the next couple of races, or whether there'll be like a Mercedes-style crash in Spain, which I think is the next Grand Prix. So we'll see what happens here, but our sights are really focused on Hulkenberg here. Obviously, he's fresh out the pit lane here. His tyres won't be quite up to temperature, so I thought this is the perfect time to pounce on him here and get the overtake done and put us back into some sort of chance of points here. So past Hulkenberg with the DRS, that's pretty easy stuff, not going to lie. So DRS wide open, straight past Hulkenberg, even though he does have a better engine in that car. We managed to get past him, and that's pretty good. So up into 11th position now. Valtteri Bottas was the car in front. But saying that, cars started to pit for some reason. I'm not too sure if cars were double stopping, because I managed to somehow get into 7th position here. But Lewis Hamilton was really putting the pressure on here. You can see round the outside Lewis Hamilton with the DRS. He managed to catch up a huge gap, only a couple of corners really, and managed to go right back past me there with the DRS there. So Lewis Hamilton, we expect to be obviously battling at the front of the field, but today obviously he's had a bit of a mistake somewhere along the line. Whether he's double stopped or not, I'm not really too sure. But Lewis Hamilton's fighting his way through the field. He might have been involved in a crash actually. He might have been involved in that crash to cause the virtual safety car. I'm not 100% sure really. I don't really know what happened there with Lewis Hamilton, but nonetheless, on to lap number 10 here. 4 laps of this race remaining here, and we're trying to just sort of keep Hamilton in front of us here, obviously. I think we might just grab the DRS. Yes, we are. So we might be able to put a bit back down the straight. Saying that, we're really fast in a straight line. We might be able to go back past Lewis Hamilton on the brakes here. Down to turn 1. Slightly missed the apex there, but just about get through the corner. Slightly running wide. Hamilton had to sort of jump out of that one. Otherwise, I suppose it could have been an accident there. So we're somehow into 6th position now as more cars are pitted. So I'm battling with Lewis Hamilton over 6th position. That is absolutely insane, especially on legendary difficulty. I didn't expect it at all. But lap number 11, Hamilton this time goes to the DRS move a lot later and goes through. But we've gone down the inside there. We've gone for the move back down the inside of this long left-hander, which is very tough. And you can see how much extra downforce that Mercedes had, that he can just go right around the outside of me there. But look at this. We go the cutback. Hamilton took a tighter line into the corner. We managed to get a nice run out of it. And I wanted to watch this again because that was a nice little bit of overtaking there, I thought, especially with Lewis Hamilton, a much faster car. So Lewis Hamilton, you're going to see, he's going to fly past, look in the mirror, he's going to jolt to the right-hand side, he's going to go on the brakes a lot later, and he's gone back through there. So we're going to go for a different line through here. You can see we floored it through the first couple of corners with a much nicer line than Lewis Hamilton, but the much more downforce on that Mercedes means that he can just drive around the outside of me there, Lewis Hamilton, and when he jams on the brakes, he'll just go through there. Will he? No, because I get that really good line through that corner, and I get a really good run out of it, which means somehow I'm back ahead of Lewis Hamilton. I can't actually believe I'm saying this. I'm battling with Lewis Hamilton over 6th place, or is it 5th place now, because somebody has retired. It's Valtteri Bottas has blown up on the side of the track there. We've seen that a couple of times in his career mode already, cars blowing up at the side of the track, but I just really didn't expect that. But Lewis Hamilton once again trying to go for an overtake. He's down the inside. Is he side-by-side stuff with Lewis Hamilton on the brakes? We're going to get it. We've slightly got an overlap. We've gone back past Lewis Hamilton here. This is an incredible battle. Lewis Hamilton's gone back past, but we've got the wider line and a much more traction out of the corner, which has put us into 5th position. And now this is the last lap of the race, all for the replay camera, guys, because I want to show you the perspective of how much Lewis Hamilton was gaining on me here. So last lap of the race, there was a bit of contact behind. You can see Kevin Magnussen's in the points as well. I'm not really sure what happened actually. I mean, I can't recall what happened. Obviously Hamilton was battling with Hulkenberg, wasn't he? But I don't know really what happened with that battle. I was really just focusing on the track ahead and trying to get my lap times in, but behind I really couldn't see. But look at this, Lewis Hamilton, after a couple of corners, has closed right up on me here and made a slight mistake over the curbs. It spat me out onto the other side of the track. Lewis Hamilton looking to the outside here. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? No, he can't quite do it. He hasn't quite got the grip in the Mercedes to do that. It's an incredible car, but it can't quite do that. So Lewis Hamilton still there. He's still got the gap here under DRS to probably get the overtake done. See it. So this is the last lap of the race. I'm absolutely sweating to the max, guys. I couldn't believe I was in this position on legendary difficulty, and I had Lewis Hamilton breathing down my neck here for the last couple of corners of this race. And look, once again, Lewis Hamilton's going for the overtake. He's done it much better this time though. So this time we go right into the slipstream with Lewis Hamilton. Can we maintain this gap down the back straight? Looks like we closed in. We're going to the inside. Oh, we've gone for the move down the inside, but we've completely misjudged our braking. We slightly touched the wall on the outside there, but I don't know, guys. Maybe I could have braked a tad earlier and maybe got through that corner, but it was sort of a last chance dive to get back past Hamilton. He really did get the really good run through the DRS zone, and now I've got the trouble of my teammate Kevin Magnussen right behind me for the last couple of corners, guys. Can I hold him off? Magnussen had a mega train, you can see behind him for the whole race here, guys, but incredibly he managed to keep them behind, because look at this, Renault are going to come through the final corner from 14th and 15th place on the grid, I think it was, to finish 6th and 7th. That is absolutely awesome, guys. I can't believe it, especially when we up the difficulty as well. I thought it was going to be a really tough race, but luckily I think the virtual safety car did actually go into my favour, obviously, because cars didn't stop on that lap, and I did actually gain a couple of seconds. And I think Kevin Magnussen, obviously with a masterstroke of a strategy as well, managing to get great points as well. So I can't honestly believe it, guys. 6th and 7th place in a Renault, and obviously it's just gone well for us this weekend. And Hulkenberg, you can see there, he didn't actually get he didn't like retire from the race or anything. He was there in 8th place, so I'm not really sure what happened to Hulkenberg in this race, but nonetheless, another great Grand Prix for us, guys. I honestly can't believe so far this career mode is going really well. But look at this, the weirdest podium you'll ever see. Rosberg wins from Kvyat in 2nd place, and Sergio Perez gets 3rd place on the podium. An absolutely incredible Russian Grand Prix. I think that podium in itself proves it was a bit of an insane race. Obviously not the main contenders there on the podium. So once again, guys, thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Remember to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back with more F1 2016 career mode tomorrow. Honestly, I think this has definitely been the best race so far. I mean, obviously not the best result, but wow, absolutely awesome stuff. Breathtaking overtakes in there as well. I couldn't believe I was battling with Lewis Hamilton over 5th place. So thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you tomorrow for more. It's been Alex, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Maybe I should get more plastic surgery. That really worked.
Thanks again for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. As always, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. It helps me out massively. You don't understand how much it really does help me out here on YouTube. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribing, it really will help me out grow the channel, which obviously really is appreciated. And now I've got that out of the way, if you want to watch another video as well, there's one linked on the screen right now. It'll be a different annotation link every day, so maybe different ones you saw yesterday. So always give it a quick check if you haven't seen it. That'd be really cool if you could check it out. Might be an old video, might be a newer one. Very cool to just see maybe some old content out there as well, whether you liked it or not. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. It's been Alex, I'm out here. Goodbye.